Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Tuesday stream. How are folks today? I'm doing good. How is everybody? How is everybody? Hey, Jeff. Hey, Bitter Bucket. Hey, Arthur. Hey, Tim. Hey, James. Hey, Rod. Hey, Aryu's nephew. Tuxedo. Jose. What else do we have here? James and Brian. Death Cube and Incendium and Bob. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Maker Viking. Hey, John. How are folks? We are continuing the Prusa Mark 3S upgrade. So no Pooch today. Pooch isn't going to be here today. I don't know if he's going to be in any of the future ones. He's welcome to. I don't think we plan that far ahead. Hey, Mac Boy. Hey, Kevin. What else do we have? Blake, Northern Customs, Jason and John, Marcus, Daniel, Ricky, Cliff, Bob, Nuno. So this is what we're working on. This is all still laid out like I did for the thumbnail. I have not gotten out here. I've been doing other stuff. So, well, hey, Brian. Hey, Victor. Hey, little brat. In memory of Pooch, we're not having tacos. Now, I had not tacos, but I had a quesadilla today. I had a carnitas quesadilla at the place near my work for lunch with another friend. So it's basically a taco, right? I mean, what is that a sandwich? No, that's not a sandwich. That's because it's not two separate pieces of bread. I don't remember the whole thing. Just 0 degrees right now. It's actually warm in here right now. I'm gonna turn my heater off. I turned it on because I was afraid it was gonna be chilly. It's not. Hey, BBs. You said the magic word, quesadillas. Yep. Fun thumbnail caching issue? Really? Is it showing an old thumbnail? I've had that happen before. Taco is a toast. What's a quesadilla? Calzone? Saw an ad for pitas today. They were ginormous. Hey, Nogorat. Taco-esque. Close enough. Got it. Hey, Sean. Good evening. I make no promises that I won't fall asleep at one point. Yeah, I understand these are late. So. Hey, Apollo. So, let's get on this. Because I do want to finish this build series. Pooch wants his printer back, and I want to give him his printer back. So, and I have other things I want to do on these Tuesday nights. There might be short series or even standalone stuff is my hope. So, perfect Best Coast time though. Yes, it is a good time for. And it does reach, this time reaches other parts of the world that I don't normally reach. So I think overall it's a good thing. I hope the streams are short enough that anybody who would like can catch up. So this is where we're at. We left off last time on the Extruder assembly. So we will be diving right into that. Pizza is just an open face sandwich. That was everything. So we are doing a filament giveaway, Polymaker filament giveaway as usual. The link is pinned and it's in the description. The interesting thing, remember I'm having trouble pinning my own posts. Well, I found out if I restore chat back to the browser window and then pop it out again, I can pin my post. It's really weird. Hey, Scott, I'm glad I can start now. Load cell on Voron when. It's only 2 a.m. here in Norway, so not too bad. Well, that's good. So we will do, I'm going to try to keep a schedule when we do Tuesday streams. Remember, they're not guaranteed. I have plenty of content to have Tuesday streams for a while, but I'm not necessarily going to make it a forever thing. I need to get caught up, and if I get to a point where I'm caught up and I'm looking for content, then it's time to go back to just Sundays and bring in Tuesdays when needed. That's kind of my plan for Tuesdays. So when we do this, the giveaway will be at the 2-hour mark instead of the normal 3-hour mark, because I want to keep these to about the 2-hour time frame for the stream. So they'll probably end up typically stretching to 2.5 hours, but that's where I want to keep it. We started early last week, so we could get some more time with Pooch, get a little more build time on this. But I'm going to be back to trying to do this about 5 to 7 my time. So what do we got? I found it was more a matter of not needing or having room for yet another printer. I'm finding spots because they're fun to build. Andrew's asking, how's the crushed rock stuff going? So a lot of folks know that I'm building a shed, and it's going to really help with my organization plan for my things. And it's a 10 by 12 shed. It will be powered. I'm going to have a 50 amp sub panel back there, so it's going to give me flexibility on how I use it. It's taken me a very, very long time to build the foundation because I had some tennis elbow issues. And that slowed me down, and heat of the summer slowed me down, and then events slowed me down, and every excuse I could think of slowed me down. So now I'm finally at the point where I'm putting the shed on top of a crushed rock base. It's framed with 4x6s, and my son and I went out there and squared it all up, located it, and staked that to the ground. So we're way ahead of where I was. I have a big pile of crushed rock out in the street, but it's raining. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to touch it this week because the forecast decided that it was going to rain. And last time I looked, before I ordered the gravel, like the day I ordered the gravel, I was supposed to have some gaps here that I thought I would be able to shovel it over there. Oh well. So, hey Modbot, Daniel, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Yep. You were trying to play tennis while building a shed? Yes. Hey, Queasy Diver. When you're done, you need to build a she shed. My wife is very accommodating. She has an entire room for her craft stuff in the house. She gets the in the house room. I get the outside the house rooms. So it's not the rain. I don't mind. I love like running in the rain. If I can run in the rain, that's the best time to run. I don't mind getting wet. What I don't want to do is it's very muddy. I don't like dealing in the mud. So, hey Trevor, well, if you want to do some shoveling, I can loan you some snow. Hey Jack. Okay, so we are on to the next extruder portion of the assembly, and I'm going to try zooming this in a little bit. Just give us a little more room. What kind of crafts does my wife do? My wife is like me. Although I've been on 3D printing and this kind of stuff for many years now, I tend to cycle through things. RC cars, bikes, woodworking. You know, I get kind of focused on something at a time and then kind of drop it and focus on something else. So she's similar. She does photography, quilting, sewing. She did scrapbooking for a long time. She did, you know, that all the things. I'll take the rain over the minus 40 we've had here. Yeah. Running in the rain as biking is not. I agree. I don't bike in the rain. Okay, we have some tools and we need to get out the filament sensor. We're getting right to it. Make sure everything is good here. Printers stick around because they can be tools for other hobbies. I don't know. I'm not planning on storing any printers out in the shed. Mostly because for at least a while, it's not going to be properly climate controlled. I am planning on putting a small mini split out there. So once that's done and it's insulated, I can feel a little more comfortable putting something like that out there. But, oh yeah, Daniel, she quilts well. Yeah, we sent Daniel and Aaron a quilt for the baby. So, Mr. Jackson. Printer sticker around a shiny ball. Does she have a cry cut or Pazzle? She does have a cry cut, however you say it. It's a very old one, and she's done many things with it, and it serves her purpose. She has never indicated that another one would be needed. So I've never used it actually. That's her toy. And I have 12,000 in mountain bikes I've neglected. Yeah, I've got my 29er mountain bike and I've got my Villiers road bike, and those are both about 2011 vintage. They still work fine. I'd like a new mountain bike because I think there's bigger advancements in the newer mountain bikes than in road bikes, but I haven't been riding enough to justify it yet. You love it? Awesome. Hey, Biney. With a room filled with geeks, you have to wonder how many people use the number 42 as a random number in the form. A lot. A lot. I could probably count the percentage, and it's probably, I bet you it's 20%. But I'm just guessing, and probably that might be a little high, but there's a V0 squatting in the Phoenix. If it's there too long, I'm going to have to evict it. David Randolph, welcome. I don't know that I've seen you much around here. I think I probably stream at a bad time for you normally. But thanks for being here. Everybody say hi, David. I mean, we got it, right? I'm much the same. I'm moving on from blasters to droids. And you got the printer for it now, right? That cooler load cell looks so cool. Yeah. From 2010 to 2014. Yep. Hey, Space Potato. Okay. So we have this and we have that. These two pieces are what we're going to start with. Hey, Laura. Okay. So for the following, please grab these and some magnets. Where are the magnets? They weren't in that particular box. I'm going to leave those right there. Where are the magnets? Magnet 3x3x3. Need those. Where are those? I might be looking for some parts here. Hey, Collie. Extruder is using a load cell, right? Yep. Yep. So this is the kind of the backbone of the extruder. And the actual load cell sensor is right there. Oops, right there inside that epoxy, inside the potting. So, and there is the hot end goes up through here, I think. Is that the path? Yeah, so the hot end ends up getting installed here. So if you've only seen it, and it's probably not the right orientation, all that kind of stuff, but the flex, the itty bittiest tiny bit of flex along here can be picked up by that sensor. Hey, Alan. Never seen where it's located on the tool head. Yeah. I need to find parts. And I'm... Where did we put all the stuff? Ah, down here. So Pooch likes to spread out, which was fine, but now I have to find the magnets. Let's see. Fortunately, they all have these nice little guides on the stuff. So was it in here? It does not appear so. Thermal pads, okay. So it wasn't in there. Hey, Dr. Dave. Derek, thanks for the gifted memberships. Load cells are pretty cool. My day job revolves around building, maintaining, calibrating them. Awesome. So do you have any thoughts on what are the challenges when trying to, and if you feel like answering anyway, what might the challenges be when integrating a load cell into a 3D printer? This is going to be fun because I have no idea where those are. Well, let's move on and grab them when we need them, I guess. Any opinion on load cells and toolhead versus bed? Toolhead seems like it would be simpler minus the actual making room for them. Yeah, that's a good question, Daniel. What are the advantages or disadvantages? Because you can detect when the at the tool head side when the nozzle tip hits, or you can detect the bed pushing down with sensors in like the corners or one corner of a bed or something like that. Hey, Cash. Extruder is really cool. The strain gauge on a metal body isn't that hard to produce, less complicated. That tap, I imagine, but getting constant readings in clipper. Yeah. And in varying temperature environments, I think is probably a challenge too. Hey, Bill. Got busy reverse engineering a 3D CNC probe. Okay, I am hoping I can find these magnets at some point. But in the meantime, let's install the filament sensor. So I'm going to try to, I guess I'll take Pooch's lead here and spread out so I can see what I have as far as fasteners. Here's the M2.5 by 6. Is that what I need here? Yes, perfect. M2.5 by 6, and it is a torque spit. So I need the Prusa tools. Hey, I've got another couple of bags down here. Maybe they have the magnets. I need the Prusa tools because I don't think I have a handy torque spit otherwise. Bamboo changed from the bed to the tool head like Prusa does. So, oh, bamboo changed. Okay. Is that on newer models or are they revising existing models? Okay. I am going to install this little, this is the filament out sensor actually. Right? This is the Hall effect sensor for filament out. This guy goes in to this little spot on the board and it just sits inside there. And where were those M2.5? Just had them right there. There's two pieces and one of them is a spare. So it says right there. That's a nice thing. There's two pieces in there, one's a spare. So once I'm done with this, I can toss this to the back of my bench and grab it later. Oh, it went over the edge of the bench. That's too big. No, it's not. It's the right one. And the tool head allows the strain gauge to detect other things like, oh, that's a good point, Bob. In the tool head, you can detect things like if you could potentially detect when there's a jam because there's extra forces in there that you'll be able to read on that strain gauge. That's a good point. It'd be interesting once they have enough data to implement. Only on the A1 because the bed isn't as rigid. Okay. That's one of the nice things about Prusa kits, always has spares. Evening, don't forget to sign up for the giveaway and hit the like button. Thank you, Roller. That is, we want to get as high as we can on likes. Tuesdays, we just want to get as high as we can. I mean, if we have enough people, we'll try to get to 200 or whatever. But let's just have fun. Okay, and so place the Hall effect, assemble the Prusa ball holder in the following order. So I do need a magnet. I need a magnet, so let's find the magnets. So I have a steel ball, a magnet, and a spring. I imagine if I can find where the spring is, which looks like it might be in here. There's a steel ball and a spring, but it doesn't say on here that there's a magnet. X spacer, yeah. There's no magnet here. Isn't there? Aren't they in a little, yeah, a little closed, little container in here? 3x3 magnet. Nice. You could just tell him to get high. Maybe? Maybe? It's got to be this guy. Magnet 3x3x3. Yep. I want to keep, oh, and I want the spring. That's one of these springs. Which spring? Because it looks like there's a few. Oh, okay, yeah, there are. And I remember this from the Mark IV build. Okay, so in here is a collection of springs. These two are for the little filament tension door. They are larger. There is a smaller one in here. This is, of course, in the Extruder bag, so it makes sense. Smaller one. And then there is a ball bearing in here. I think I got the motors. I have to double check. Oh, is that for... Oh, the FDL3, yeah. Okay, so those... Ooh, where's it going? Where's it going? Okay, let's stay. Second biggest challenge would be fatigue cycling. Strain gauges drift with fatigue cycling. Okay. How do you, I mean, in a printer environment where we're detecting just the tiniest little bit of contact is where these are triggering. How, oh, this is our spares bag. That's why I saw a whole collection of things in there. Okay, I'm gonna put that over there. Okay, that and a magnet. PF Dennis, thanks for the gifted memberships. I've now had 3 latches fail on my CW2 printer in ABS. Have you printed? There is an update to that. There's a thicker one. Have you printed the thicker one? There is an updated one. These little magnets are small. Seems like Clipper-based printers that use load cells in the bed have a dedicated board for reading them and pass the data back to a micro switch. Which printers do we have right now that use a load cell? So I think I'm going to put this together. These are, there we go. So we've got a little assembly here, like in the thing. It's probably approaching a non-issue with a printer. And I'm talking about fatigue cycling, right? That was my question on that. Yeah. Creality K1 has a load cell. Okay, so all of this goes into that piece. Now, is this a injection molded piece that comes with the printer? Yes, it is. So that was not a printed piece. That's a injection molded piece that's in here. Creality CR6 SE. Oh, that one's been around a while, right? And then if we set this in the right, same location, this goes in the end there. And that, that magnet is what is triggering our Hall effect sensor here. So all of this should go right in here. Confirm. Yeah, so that pushes, insert the ball assembly into the heatsink, make sure the steel ball part is closer to the side of the heatsink. Note the correct orientation of the Prusa ball holder. There is a protrusion on the part, and push the assembly in. So if I have this should go in. It'll go in there flush. Now when filament goes through here, it pushes that ball bearing over, moves the magnet across that Hall effect sensor, and that's our filament out sensor. Now I have had one instance in my ownership of my Mark IV where this got a little weird, and I think a piece of filament got in there and was not, it was actually when I was printing the hex tray for the Cynthia. I was doing the filament swap because I printed that in the PET G on the Mark IV, and it wasn't taking the new filament. And I tried over and over. It took several minutes. But finally, I just kind of put it in at an angle to kind of try to scrape anything that might have been in the way, and it worked. So it loaded, and I haven't had trouble since then, but it can get jammed up. Is there any laundry? Was anything said about Vorons getting load cell in the hot end? No, there's nothing in the works. It's constantly being looked at and interest in it, but there isn't anything actively in the works. It's a lot of things have interest, but All fixed sensors and load cells feel like talking sim racing gear. Had that once on the MK3s, cleaned out the fragment and all good. Yeah, I haven't had any trouble since, but it was worth noting. Okay, so now we have idler. We're gonna have idler lever, some pins. All of those are over here. Oh, the one that's already out. We should have two smaller pins in here somewhere. Yep, there they are. Along with a washer. And then some printed parts. So part there, there. Hey Josh, welcome. Make sure that I don't have any. Oh, that's smooth. Barely touched that. So these bearings, so this is the idler that pushes up against the filament from the other side, I suppose. They've got a little groove in there. I don't know if that helps center the filament or not. I would imagine so. What is your favorite bed leveling tech so far? Right now, the one I'm most familiar with and have had the most luck with is tap, both printed and machined versions. I've had luck with both. Clicky has served me well. Euclid has served me well. I've had to fiddle the least with tap though. There are lots of other technologies that I have not had experience with. I haven't done any of the eddy current stuff. I haven't done anything in load cells. Yeah, a little bit of different inductive probes, but those seem kind of not super exciting. So this guy, idler. Looks like we're just gonna put those in, and that, oh, there's a little, looks like there's a hollow spacer here. Insert the pin into each bearing, place both bearings with pins in there, close it up with the idler lever A part and secure it with an M3x6 screw. Do not over tighten. Both bearings must be able to rotate. From the same side, push the tubular spacer into the assembly. The bottom of the tubular spacer must be flushed with the bottom part of the idler. So there, not all the way through, not centered, just flush to that point. Hey, Engineering Chaos. Hey, Remy. Welcome. Okay, so we're gonna put both of these in. Going to push into there. Hey, Jimmy. This will go on there. Those should line up. There we go. And then an M3x6 on these guys. Not all the way. I believe I might have a bunch of my tools in the other shop. May have to go grab them. This just kind of doesn't get tightened all the way yet. Or doesn't get tightened to the point of the bearings not moving. So we're going to make sure these stay free. Hey, Jesper. And then from the same side, one of these, this spacer here. Spacer goes in from this side. Push it right to the table. And that should give us what they're looking for. Just make sure that's tight. Those are still moving. This is done. Oh, we get to do this part. So this is where we get to see if any of my other printed parts caused any problems. So let's get some bits and pieces out. Now, one thing I noticed, if you go out and print all your own parts, I think some of the file naming could be improved and maybe cleaned up a little bit. I don't, or maybe explained. Because if you go out there, you're going to find a lot of parts that are like R1, R2, R3 that are all in there. So do you just print all of the latest version stuff, or are there reasons why you might want an R1 or an R2 part? For instance, this I think this is an assembly tool. The green is the PG assembly adapter, and this is R2. I know I have others here in the files there, so I printed it because I just grabbed files. It was R1, and I don't remember if there was an R3 there. But if you take in the same vein of things, this cover, this is R1 that's there, and it has, so the notable difference is there are screw holes on all 4 corners. When you go to R2, you lose one of the screw holes, but there's still a starter one there. That's R2. And then I have R3 here, which is the one we're going to use because I think that's the one we want. But this is R3. So I'm not sure, but that exists throughout the printed parts. Not in every part, but there are parts in there that are labeled that have multiple versions out there. I guess these weekday streams help some folks do a live stream that can't pull off the Sunday schedule. That's the advantage I see too, Bill. Absolutely. I reach a slightly different audience. Load cells are complex as you want them to be. Yeah. That is definitely a gear alignment tool. Mm-hmm. But why are there multiple versions still out in the same repository? I printed a lot of stuff I don't know that I had to. Like the screen mounts, there's 2 different versions of those. And there's distinct differences in them, but. Okay, so I'm gonna use the R3 one. So we got this, we have our planetary assembly there. We have the what do we call this? The ring gear. And I have had a dry throat lately, so I'm going to be drinking a lot. The ones in my kits are versions E, like that tool is E1. And Prusa started distinguishing between the file versions for what you download versus what comes in the kits, and so they can better track support. When they're helping someone, they can ask them what number, what is embossed on the part that you're working on. Then they know whether that's a self-printed part or a farm printed part. Latest versions are the ones to use from my Prusa experience. And I think that makes sense. It just, the question is, why are the older versions still out there? On review, I also will be drinking a lot. That happens the opposite way with remixes. Some people only post the new parts. They are different names than original parts. You don't know what to print. I haven't received notifications from YouTube for the last 2 streams. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna need that part too. So. Let's see. So all those parts I have now. The list continues to the next step. Oh, we need a stepper. Where did I put that guy? He's right here. A stepper. And that washer that was in this bag, a longer pin. Where is that? A longer pin. That is a. Oh, that's not a pin. That's not a pin. That's a long grub screw. And I know I saw that somewhere. That is a long grub screw. Which is kind of interesting. Where do we put those, Pooch? He's not here. I can blame him on not finding all the things. And he can't talk back about it. Where is those grub screws? I think I only need one. Let's see if there's one in the spares. Blame Pooch. Yes, hashtag blame Pooch. Oh, I don't see any extras. I don't see that in this extras thing. Shoot. I think the extra is in the little baggie. Where? That stuff here. It's got to be here. I saw it when we were working on them. Hey, Mike. Found long grub screws really useful for max threads on a short fastener location. What fell off the back of the table? Oh, that was another fastener that I was done with. So I know what that was. I know it's here somewhere. I just got to find the one little bag. Where it went. It's not back here. Didn't really have any of the new stuff back here, except for the stickers for the, just making sure. Oh, such a mess. Such a mess. It's got to be under here. Is that, extra Haribos, that. Oh, there they are. Found them. It's these guys. It's a long grub screw. 25 millimeter grub screw, M3. Don't get lost in the Phoenix. Fasteners 202 bag in the full kit. So Wick Central, we're gonna do hashtag blame Pooch, and Pooch spread it all out. So the box it came in means nothing to me anymore. It's a whole new level of bad. Oh, what do we? Because I would get them after a stream. Oh yeah, the notifications are terrible. And then a little bit of grease. So assemble, attach the 50 by 10 spacer by 1.1 or point on the extruder. Okay, that little spacer. Okay. Place a heat sink on the extruder motor with the wire in that location. That's the important. The heat sink cables must be on the right side. Place the main plate on the heat sink, and then that main plate goes on. Okay, something I want to check before. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Never mind. I was making sure the filament path looked clear, and yeah, that's definitely fine. Set screws, grub screws, dog screws, cup screws, variations on the theme. At least Nero's not here. I mean, is this like gourmet grub screw? Is this like gourmet? This is a grub. This is a worm screw. I mean, it's almost like if this is a gummy bear, this is a gummy worm. Okay, so this goes here, and these all come off to the side, and the stepper motor with the motor going straight up goes on here. Get that out of the way. This piece has a notch in it that's called out right there on the green or the orange circle. Maybe they each have a different flavor. Hungry Man grub screw. Yep. And then this will go on here. So that little sandwich there. And before proceeding to the next step, make sure that oh, I didn't put that little spacer on there. So I want to make sure this little shim spacer, that's 5 by 10 by 0.1 millimeters. So that, make sure it's doesn't have any crud on it. Drop that over the stepper there. I thought of making a container Nerds Candy style that said Grubs and was full of grub screws, but for better or worse, I never got around to it. That's probably a bad idea. Unless you want to pay a dental bill. I didn't have to do anything with the other stuff here yet, right? Okay. So this, oh, the little assembly tool, and so the following instructions need to be done correctly and carefully, and this is very true. If this isn't lined up, then you're going to get binding. It's not going to run smoothly. It's very important. Achieve better understanding successful assembly while watching the video. After watching the video, following the steps in this guide. Attach the Planetary gear assembly adapter on the Planetary gear assembly. Note the pockets for the gears in the adapter. Okay, so we're going to do this. So this is going to go on here and kind of set into the pockets. Make sure that's symmetric. Yeah, so that's setting in there as far as it'll go. Doesn't go all the way down. So that's going to set there. And then we're going to do not assemble the gear without the Planetary, oh, here. So this says now that we're going to set this down into the ring gear, and do not assemble the gearbox without the Planetary gear assembly adapter. This tool is intended to ensure the gears are correctly fit together. So slide the gear onto the adapter. Notice there a chamfer on one side of the Planetary gear ring teeth. This must be facing down to the Planetary gear assembly. Hey, Tai-Jen. So if we look at this piece, that, yeah, nope. Let's get that. There's the chamfer, and on this side is sharp. So this is the chamfer, and it says the chamfer must be facing down. So we're going to go down here, and then we are going to put this into here. And I think I'm just going to go this way. I think this should grasp the entire assembly in one hand so it can be rotated with the Planetary ring. With the other hand, slide the pin onto the PG assembly in a wobbling motion. I kind of do it backwards of what they say, I think. Unless I have to reverse course on this, but the other hand, this and this. Oh, okay, I'm doing this wrong. So I know what I'm doing wrong. Sorry, let's go here. So I could have watched the video. I've watched the video before, but it's been 7 months. So here, and then this slides down over the top of that, and that chamfered side is going to help us engage with the Planetary gears. So if this is like this, this comes down over the top, making sure that the chamfered side is down. The diameter of this tool makes sure everything's lined up, and then we just kind of, I'm going to set this down here on the bench and get this right like that. And that is right there. See? So that is in there. It's lined up. It's moving smoothly. So, anything new on Magneto X? I have a pre-order in. That part can either go smooth or cause a guy to shrink. The piece is beautiful. That is, yeah. Stop when the surfaces of the gears are approximately flush with the surface of the Planetary ring gear. Yep. That's showing this right here. So you kind of see how it's flush right there, and that's where we're at right now. So then this goes, proceed very carefully in this step. So word of the page is carefully It took me several minutes of self-persuasion to be brave enough to push those gears into the square. Maintain the position of the planetary gear assembly and attach it onto the extruder motor shaft. Very gently and freely rotate with the whole planetary gear assembly until it drops down so there's no gap between the assembly and the main plate. Do not push on the assembly. That goes on there. That should all kind of drop in. So if we have our stepper here, and this wire, I'm going to want to kind of pull this back a little bit without pulling on it too much here. I don't want to put too much strain there, but I'm going to kind of form that off to the side. This is, see, the filament path there. Hey Ken, welcome. This points up. This goes on here just like that. Let's get all this lined up. And then this is going to go down onto the, gotta get that to line up onto the stepper. Oh, there we go. It's all together. Turns. What's that? And then the little assembly tool can come off here. And that's all in there. Now we need to put some grease in here somewhere. Assembling the extruder idler. Insert the idler. I think we do some grease at some point, right? Oh, there it is. Okay. Doop. Insert the idler assembly between the planetary gear ring and extruder motor. There's a cutout for the spacer. Secure both parts with the socket set screw. When did it have us? Oh, there it is. Insert the idler assembly. There's a cutout. Line up the idler. Secure both parts with the socket set screw. Do not over tighten the screw. Okay, that's the little. When it said socket set screw, why don't they just say it's a grub screw? Long grub screw. Is that a? Nope. It's. Oh, there we go. 1.5 millimeter. I live in South Alabama. We don't know how to deal with this sub-freezing stuff. So this guy is going to go in here. And this guy. It's going to thread into the stepper. And it bottoms out, so I think it's just, you don't need to tighten it. It just needs to be snug, I'm sure. When do we get to eat the gummies? At the end of the steps. We're past the part where they torture you with no gummies after steps. We get gummies after steps now. Translation difficulty from Czech. Yeah, there's a few names on the different fasteners that are a little odd to what I'm used to. Set screw is a technically correct name. But socket would imply, well, I guess there is a socket. There's a hex tip in it. Huh? Apply a small amount of Prusa lubricant all around the planetary gear ring and planetary gear assembly teeth. So something like that. And the extra should have some that isn't all used up. Maybe one that's not opened yet, or that's already opened. One that's already opened would be wonderful. Otherwise, I'll open one. What is that sitting on Phoenix bed? Sitting on, oh, the Voron Zero? You talking about the Voron Zero? Yeah. That is my, here. That is the blue RepRap firmware V0. Oh yeah, I got enough here that I can take this and get this in here. Or here. There we go. To be sloppy. Let just go. I just had it. Looks like a treat for the Phoenix. Yeah. Away. And then, do I have paper towels out here still? Yeah. Was it print in place or did the V0 need supports? All the supports. It goes very much against the Voron. Oh, there's the other grease I was looking for. Very much against the Voron rules. It uses all the supports. Voron printer rack is nice. I think, what did we figure? That would fit at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe up to 12 V0s in there. Okay, this is enough grease there. I feel good about that. Good. I didn't want to open another or pop another grease thing if I didn't have to. It's a big enclosure of the V0. It takes forever to heat up. Okay. Now we get to cover the planetary gear. So take the planetary gear cover and make sure the plastic ring is already inserted in the part. We have a plastic ring somewhere. That's this guy. Now it's not black. Oh, wait. This is R3, and there is definitely the mold lines. I don't know which side is better. I have a feeling this one has the injection mold bits there. I think I should probably do this side, pointing up, because that's what kind of rubs against here, so. That is definitely a tight fit. This is such a small part. I cannot imagine that the ABS scaling is causing that issue. ERCFE2 on each of the Phoenix heads. This is tough. What can I push down on? Because that's kind of hurting my thumbs. Oh. I don't want to deform it. The 3 dots go down. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me see what I have around here, because I do not want to put any pressure on any one spot of these. But I want to get the whole thing, get it in there. I think Stefan from CNC Kitchen talked about that exact part when he made his clear. Don't remember what he said though. I'm thinking, well, the problem is it's under, I can't get to it with the Knipex. I need a spacer. So I need a spacer that fits inside of here. And, oh, that might do. Let's see if the other one fits better. There's a spare. There's a spare. Maybe it fits better. There's a spare. It's not hurting it. So the 3 dots down makes sense to me. Socket's worth the next. I think a socket is just a little too. Oh, that might work. Use that as a spacer. Okay. Big Knipex. Okay, so now I want to really make sure. Do not want to damage this. So I want to do this in little bits. There we go. Now I don't know if I just broke the ABS part around that. See if any of these seem loose. Print and Arbor Press, yeah. No, it didn't break. It just popped in. That's what I heard, is it popping in. So I think we're good. Just make sure that this little tool here was the perfect little spacer to fit in there though. That fit perfect. Hey Brent. How many tap changer heads could fit in a Phoenix? A bunch. Okay. The color of the plastic ring might vary. The properties are the same. My Mark IV has a black plastic ring. Knipex pliers are awesome. Yep. Cover the planetary gear and secure the planetary gear case with 3 M3 by 25 screws. Do not over tighten the screws. M3 by 25s. I think I took my small ruler over there. That's what these are, yeah. So 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. This is gonna go on here. What do we got? We have over 100 likes. That's good. We have 172 people. Okay, so that's what that little knot through hole is just to go over the grub screw. The rest of these I think should just kind of line up. How about DeWalt's version of Knipex with a locking slider? Don't. Yeah. There is the upgrade does come with a sticker to put on here. I figured I was gonna wait, make sure everything worked before I used the sticker. There's a whole little pack and it's kind of cool. I was impressed to see this. There are stickers for the display and this piece. So little transfer sticker for this and the display that gives you the nice Mark IV Prusa labeling. not over tightening. Just tightening. That still moves fine. That is the basic extruder. And there's other things that go in here. So that goes there. Yep. So idler bearings. Assembling the idler swivel. Now this is the part that I had forgotten to print last time, but we didn't get far enough to need it, so I have it now. This is the idler swivel. Those and this. So this piece, these two pieces, and we need nuts and spacers and stuff. Where are those spacers? I need the two springs. It's those two bigger springs. Let's go ahead there. Quickly approaching pumpkin time. Oh yeah? What time is pumpkin time? Time for you to turn in for work. Where are those? Oh, there they are. And then there's just says an extruder assembly. Nice if they included a set of the decals and the extras. An extra set of decals? Yeah, I agree. Because they probably don't cost much. And then two M3 by 30s, which are these longer ones, right? Yeah. And two M3 by 20s button heads. Those are in here somewhere. They gotta be. Don't need the grease. Those and where are those M3 by 20? M3 by 20. Gotta be over here. Blame Pooch. Blame Pooch. Where are they? What's that? Oh, there they are. There they are. They're right in front of me. Hey, JC. And there's one spare in here, so that was it. So these two. Okay. Hey, Bloody JMF. So idler gets one of these and that, and a nylon screw. So this goes here, and a spacer, and another one, and one of these Nylox. Just got my Ender 3 Pro with input shaper installed and printing a Benchy right now. Congrats. How is your input shaping results turning out? Speaking of which, yeah, out of Adam, 3 months already. Thank you. Speaking of which, this Sunday I'm pretty much decided is going to be switch wire part Appendix A. And at this point, I realized that I do not have a 2mm driver over here, so I have to go grab them. So let me go grab my 2mm driver so I can tighten that. It'll only take me a moment. Dancing Max for you. Okay. Ram, welcome. Good night, Apollo. Good night. Do not over tighten this. Oh, I know. I am aware. I mean, it says so in the instructions. Right there. Tighten just lightly. The spacer must rotate freely. So I've got my handy little J-Concepts nut driver that I love, and they apparently are still available. If you look at the, I don't remember what stream it was. I posted a link to it in the comments. Okay, so that is lightly, and tighten it until the part breaks, then back off. Reprint the part and try again. I do have an extra piece. This needs to get just tighten, even though this moves like this. Actually, what I should do, no, it'll be fine. Even though that moves like that, the piece in the middle needs to swivel. So there we go. It's touching. My favorite nut driver is the Traxxas tool. This thing is just so handy. Just it's 5.5 millimeters on this side and 7 millimeters on this side. Now I wouldn't use this for nozzles because it is aluminum. But yeah, I translated, Josh. Okay, and then we go to this part where we insert that in that orientation and another screw through it and probably another nut. And do not over tighten that one either. So if this is in that orientation, this goes like that. And the other nut goes through here. Other lock nut. Vince, hey, I'm currently in the works of building a 0G Mercury and using your video to guide me along. Awesome. I like my 0G. It prints when I need it to. When was the last time I printed on it? It wasn't too long ago. I printed a, what did I print on it? I don't remember what I printed. I did print a bunch of stuff for Orange County Maker Faire. Orange County Maker Faire. Coming up, should be in the fall. The tool I got from Chapman looks a lot like that one, except it fits its 1/4 inch. Just trying to get these to the point where it still moves, but it's not too loose. Ethan, okay, you're here. I didn't know, I wasn't 100% sure if dates had been announced. So thank you. Ethan is the organizer for Orange County Maker Faire. So, September 14th through 15th. It is looking like a ridiculous June and September, October. Because June, William Osman announced today that they're looking at middle of June for Open Sauce, which is in San Francisco, which is only an 1.5-hour drive from here-ish. Middle of June for Open Sauce. Later June, next, and I don't know if it's going to conflict with Murph or not. The next would be Murph, and then Rapid TCT is 2 days after Murph ends. So, and then in October, we've got Orange County Maker Faire, we've got 3D Printopia, and what else was over there? There's something else. But yeah. Love that you're upgrading a Mark III to Mark IV, and I just got an old Mark II and upgrading to a Mark III. Awesome. That is, I mean, this kit right here exists because even though it's not the best value proposition to upgrade a Mark 3s to a full Mark 4. It exists because Prusa says people demand it. They have demand for it. People ask for it. So, but that there are updates so you can take a Mark 3 to the full capabilities of Mark 4 is nice. 3D Printopia was announced. The dates were announced. I just don't remember the exact dates. Now we got these. And so we've got two M3 by 30s. Looks like, right? Attach the spring on both M3 by 30s. Do we actually know dates for Murph? Yes, dates for Murph are announced as well. Am I flying or driving to what? MG20 TX. What am I flying or driving to what one? These springs go over here. And the OC fair. Well, if I present, which I'd like to, then I'll be driving. If I maintain a booth there, then I'll be driving, which is the most likely scenario. Oh, that's the other thing. That's the one I was thinking of. Bay Area Maker Faire is in middle of October, right? So it's 2 weekends. I'm only going to go to one. I can't do two. So the way this works is these screws now go through here. You put this thing on and it looks like a couple of, yeah, it just threads in there. Push the two screws with the springs through the holes, attach the idler onto the screws, tighten both screws, stop tightening as soon as the screw chips reach the front face of the idler nut. Okay. So these go through here. What are we at? 615. I kind of knew this was going to be. And then this goes in on here, and those just thread into plastic, huh? Okay. So grab both of these. Will you be at Murph? It depends on when open sauce is and when and that. If it conflicts with open sauce, I may do open sauce because it's local. I don't have to take as much time, and I can present there. I can do a booth there. Well, I should say not me, but Voron can do a booth. There we go. That's right there. Oh, and that's right there. And then this lifts up, and then that just snaps onto there, right? There we go. Those springs have to pull through, and hopefully that plastic stays strong enough. Okay. Attach the extruder parts, follow the thumb screw. M3 by 10s, small grub screw. It's got to be in here somewhere. Where's the small grub screw? Not in there. I did computer and electrical engineering in college and software engineering now for a living. I love 3D printing and other mechanical stuff. Partially because it's so much more tangible. Just being able to, I love the technology, just being able to think of something and complex things and end up with a physical object out of it. I mean, you can do that with a lot of, woodworking and machining and all sorts of other mediums. Where is, so I need a, where's that grub screw? Hey, Joe. Hey, Reth. Hey, Reth. It's the end of the day. My eyes are getting a little more tired. Where is that grub screw? It's not down here. What is this? Aha, found him. Found it. Is that one spare? Yep, one spare. Okay, so we're gonna get all this and the thermistor. And we're gonna put the thermistor in first. Check in your candy. It's not gonna get into the candy. I like my teeth. Okay, so, oh, this side. So this side goes in right here. I assume we just want that to be kind of centered in there. And this is the, ooh, heat sink. Oh, and this is nice. If you look at this closely, oh, and that's an extra small, it's an extra small driver. I think it's probably, what, a 1.3 or something? It came with an Allen wrench, and well, that's what we'll use. But if you look closely at this, come on, is that the one? Is it hex? Torx, it is Torx. Where's the tiny Torx? Is there a tiny Torx? Is that M3-4T? Is the T for Torx? Yep, there it is. Hey, Golsifer. And never went to college, but I've worked for several, like it a lot. Have you used any Creality series? My very first printer was a CR10, one of the early ones. Anyway, what I wanted to get at is the end of this grub screw is actually flat. It's not just rolled and harsh edges to push into the, it's a nice grub screw. It's flat instead of, you know, the rolled edges that give a sharp edge to push into the thermistor. So now this guy goes in here. And then I'm just going to make sure that when I tighten it, it's about centered in that spot. Hey, Latian. And then not tight, just enough to keep that from falling out. How bad is a rat warp on a 6mm aluminum bed plate on a scale of eh to oh yikes? There's a lot of things that can contribute to that, Nick. A lot of things besides just the bed being warped. You could have a bend or a twist in your X gantry. You can have the stack up of different parts, your magnet, the adhesives, the flex sheet, all of that, causing that too. So more info is probably needed. And then insert the 2 thumb screws. Oh, and then we get to put this on the printer. So place an extruder onto the spacers on the X carriage, align the heatsink holes with the spacers, and 3 M3x10 screws. Awesome. No thread locker in the grub. It doesn't tell me to do it. It doesn't tell me to do it. So we're gonna follow their thing. It didn't, right? Let's make sure. Applying more force may cause permanent damage to the thread. Yeah. Nothing there. Oh, it's a bare plate that is not installed on a printer, just got the plate in the mail. And you're checking it against a very good flat edge. a bare plate not installed on a printer, just got the plate in the mail. And then you really want to make sure that your reference edge, if you're measuring to that degree, needs to be actually a good reference. Okay, so with that on, now we can put it on the printer. So this just goes, this go in there, and then this goes on here, and I think this kind of pulls off to the side. Now these wires here that we had to keep out of the way, that's where this comes into play, is just making sure that the stepper, this is a very tight, remember, tight like a tiger assembly. Those are not far enough over. There is some interference there. Metal straight edge across the top. I don't know that you'd want to check that straight edge. I mean, it's 0.35 millimeters is quite a bit. I get that, but just kind of the idea of, see if this will tighten into place. Yeah, that's lining up. This is into those metal standoffs that we put on the, oops, that's the wrong side. Where was that? Here, oh yeah, it was here. Oops, this way. There we go. Let's confirm. Dome-ish, I checked it diagonally, corner to corner, both ways, and I think it's just a mid-plate dip. And you checked it on both sides. Are you getting the opposite effect on the other side? Okay, next extruder is on the printer. Very nice. There we go. A little bit of light. Yep. This is a Mark III to Mark IV upgrade. So this is the full Mark IV upgrade kit. So made sure I didn't pinch any cables. Everything's out of the way. Yep. Line the heatsink holes with the spacer and the extruder and join both parts together. Start with the middle one. Did I start with the middle one? I think I did. And then we can push this thermistor up through the wire path here. And it plugs into, where does it plug in? It plugs into the top here, right above the bigger connector. Oops, let's go here. So there's a little printed wire channel here, and then this should go. Right there. And that just, I want to make sure that gets pulled up into there, out of the way, because we got more wires going through there. My daughter Haley says hello and good night. Good night, Haley. Sweet dreams. Assembling the hot end fan. So where was the hot? Here. For the following step, grab M3 by 18s, the hot end fan. We're gonna put that on there. There's a sticker on the hot end fan. The sticker must be on the rear side of the fan, not visible. So we've got the part cooling fan here. The hot end fan is here. And then these are 18s. 30 by 18, yep. So, position of these. What do we got? 186. How many likes do we have? Are we going to hit 200? Are we going to hit 200 in 33 minutes? Okay, and then wire routing on this is kind of important for things to line up well and to be maintained later. The order that we're putting these in allows us, I think we put the hot end stuff in last because that's the one that you're most likely to take in and out of this little printed channel. I take back what I said, building, upgrading a Prusa is more involved than I previously thought. It's not bad though. So it plugs into the bottom one. All of this is like, as far as order of operations and what you have to maintain, this is that heatsink thermistor, and this is your main connector, and this is the fan. It kind of goes to least need to access to most from the inside here out, it seems. 129 likes. Look, we can hit 150. We can hit 150 for sure. Okay, so this is going to go in between and then up into there and plugged in there. So it's going to go in between here, and then there is, and at this point I'm going to take these thumb screws out because they're kind of in the way. This is going to go right there. I was at 130, I can only do so much. Okay, and then this will plug into the bottom spot here. There we go. That's just gonna go right there. Away. I mean, I may be taking these in and out, but I'll just put them in a couple of threads. Did you add the sequin LEDs? 145, yeah, we'll hit 150. You know, I'd like the smash button more if I could. I do know that. I appreciate it. We can get the hot end on there. So hot end, so we get that, locate the hole in the heatsink from the bottom of the extruder, insert the hot end into the heatsink, guide the hot end cables freely to the left, push the hot end assembly all the way into the heatsink, and there should be approximately a 2mm gap between the heatsink and the brass part of the nozzle. While pushing the hot end assembly in, firmly tighten both thumb screws. Avoid pinching any cables. And then orient it so the hot symbol on the heater block faces forward. So if we look at this guy, there's a hot symbol. Doesn't have one on this side. A little QR code. Don't know what that goes to. Probably what is that gonna go to? That's a good question. So these are gonna bend kind of to the side. They're kind of pre-formed because this is gonna plug into the printer here. Let's get a little closer. So that forward, these off to the side, this guy right up all the way through there. So that's going to have about that 2mm gap. We're going to make sure, you're going to see the back of my head for a second, make sure it is square to the printer. Hey Dylan. Tightening these down, making sure we didn't pinch those fan wires. And I don't know how much these should be tightened, but I don't want to crush that. I don't want to crush the tube there, so. Just. There we go. Yeah, got it. Mosquito. Probably tracking info for QC, yeah. And then these guys can go up through here. So does it say? Guide the hot end thermistor through the cable channel. So that's up through here. And the thermistor plugs in here, and the hot end, the heater block plugs into the, that's a microfit. And the hardware star bond activator has acetone in it. Ooh. And there's a little loop you can put on the it looks like the thermistor. Little loop on the thermistor, make sure you don't have any extra wires, and then a little bend in for the hot end, for the heater. Okay. This goes up in there. And just bends over to the side and just plugs in. And then I'm just going to pinch that to keep everything tight in here because it is important. Because there's a cover that goes over all of this. Some fan door. We have some magnets. So insert the magnet into the pocket on the inside of the fan door. And where are those magnets? Here they are. Hey, the happy extruder, welcome. There's a nice tool on printables that locks the block from turning in for in-place nozzle swaps. That's handy. Okay, so insert the magnet into the pocket on the inside of the fan door. Arrange the print fan as seen in the picture. Guide the cable through the channel in the plastic part, through this channel here. Keep a small gap between both parts, this little gap here. And then you fold that over and put a couple of M3x6 screws in. And we reduce that slack as much as possible. Okay. So it doesn't tell me what orientation to put this fan part in. Those magnets are a pain. So this guy goes in here. So that's just in some way. And there's probably, I can do that. Then it's not falling out. And then this guy, hold it like this. This is going to go through here. A little bit of and that goes down inside there nice and pretty well. This folds over, and as long as that lays flat, I think we did good. You can pull on this a little bit. I think that's pretty minimal. These are screws into here. Clever wire routing. So you see this on, like, there's a little bit of that going on the Nevermore. At least the version that is like part of the extra stuff for the LDO kit. That did not actually go through there, so let's do that again. There we go. Now that's on there. They have some clever wire routing like that. there, and then assemble the fan door. So turn the fan door assembly as shown, attach the fan shroud to the fan door and align the holes and parts, and a couple of M3 by 10 screws. So the printed shroud turned out really nice in that Galaxy Black ASA, Prusament ASA. Stealth burner wire routing also, yep. Okay, so then a couple of M3 by 10s to hold this on. Now, the kit did come with this shroud printed. It did come with one, just in black ASA or PC blend. I don't know what they, probably ASA. Part way and then the other one. Sticking to a brand is good practice. Careful on the print there, because that did actually crack. See that? Oh. Split on the layer line there. Yep. So does Prusa print parts in ASA? Not some parts, but not most of the parts are still PETG on these. That cracked. So I think probably I am going to be more careful next time and probably drive the screw in a little more slowly. But that's not the only one of these I have. So I have an extra Galaxy Black one, and if it cracks, well, we'll go to the black one. I think what I'm going to do here is try to kind of cut the threads as I go. Just kind of form the threads. You could glue that. Oh yeah, it would be fine. I have an extra right here. It would, yep, it would definitely help to use a tap. Absolutely. Just kind of working the threads through a little bit at a time. Why all black and no Prusa orange? Because Pooch wanted this murdered out. What? I'm ready for gummy bears. No heat sets on a Prusa. Nope. There we go. That one went in. Now we got one more. Yeah, I'm using the bolt as a tap. It's plastic. It's a very non-structural part. And being non-structural, a tap, even if it was a little too loose, all it has to do is hold it in place and not loosen up on me. So that's I'm gonna get a RSI from doing this. Aggravate my tennis elbow. And this is something we definitely can't blame on just being ASA parts, because the factory, the part from Prusa is ASA as well. Yeah, very easy to install. Don't have to disassemble any real part of the printer. There we go. That worked. Okay. It's recommended to prepare the permanent marker for this step. Slowly get the free magnet close to the magnet in the fan door and find out which two sides are attracted to each other. Hey, I already did that. Mark the sides that are attracted to each other with a permanent marker. have one of those. Here we go. I'm gonna go blue. Blue. Make sure you put the second magnet the wrong direction so the fan won't close and you cuss yourself out and have to take it apart again. No. And we'll drop that thing in there and we can probably see it down there if we need to. Before inserting the magnet into the part, double check that the marked part of the magnet is facing you. The magnet cannot be removed from the part afterwards. I beg to differ. I bet you we could get that out. Hey 3D Medic Vince, how are you? And push the magnet all the way down. That is, and then a M3x30 into there, and the extruder cables. Okay, 3x30. That's this guy, and magnet. So make sure the visible. Oh, and it wants to go to those thumb screws. That all the way in. Go. How much? Okay, go a little further. Oh, that's it. Okay. That's all the way. This guy goes on here. Threads in there. Prusa lawyers made them get that warning in. Do you know why the oceans are blue? Why are the oceans blue? Prusa can't be removed. Challenge accepted. Exactly. I don't know. That went in there pretty tight. I may have overspoke. Hey, Troy. Then that kind of holds. It's supposed to hold that in place right there. But you can move it out of the way when you need to do some maintenance. Is this that just kind of goes, connect the extruder, that connects, these connect, they need to be nice and tight over there. And then connecting the print fan, that just goes kind of straight up and in. So let's connect that since we're here. That goes there. And then on this side, this goes around like that, but this has to be kind of close to the side there, because there's a little cover here, and if it can screw up your checks, your initial checks. So all those have to kind of be able to be tight. And then I think this, can this go, connect the extruder mirror on the top side of the love board? Does that go down and then around and up? Probably something like that. I don't know. Do you talk on the stream at some point how MK4 is better than MK3? If so, do you remember when? We probably have touched on it at various points, but really the biggest impact in the upgrade is the extruder, really, the load cell touch nozzle probe. As a diver, I definitely know that red turns to black real quick at depth. Okay, where are we? Connect the filament sensor, we got those. Connect the print fan, and then wiring check. I'm sure everything is fine. Before covering the electronics, check the connection of all cables. Everything's checked. Close the idler, that's closed. And then we have a love board cover, the two cover right and the cover, and then a M3x10 screw. So this is the one that got me on my Mark IV build, is that this was stuck out too far, and this is a revised part since mine was made. So there is we'll probably have to go this way. This goes in here, I think. Let me make sure that we can get all that flush underneath that little cover, I think. And this goes in here. Well, that's not a great view. That's not the screwdriver I want. Nope, that was too low. There we go. Make sure all of this goes up inside. There's a recess in this cover that we want to get those wires under. Let's get that started there. Make sure. Twist that into place. There we go. That's there, and I think this might help hold it. I think there's a feature here that helps hold this top off over like that. So those are all in there. It's not bulging. It's bulging a little bit there. We'll find out if we fail or not, but everything's behind there, so. Okay, and then this all just goes over everything. It slips in behind on the back. That just go in. There we go. There is this little feature here snaps into that to hold it down. And then you want to make sure on the corner here, there it is, that's inside that cover, and that is done. It's close. I think we're good. I think I'm getting a delivery. Ooh, this might be a fun delivery. This might be a fun delivery. I might grab this. We might do a little tiny bit of overtime if it's what I want, but I'll finish this first. We got 9 minutes till giveaway. We have 200 people here, so can we hit 200 likes in 9 minutes? Can we hit 200 likes in 9 minutes? Okay, and do I get some, we covered it. Oh, we get to tension, the belt before I get 159. We got 41 in 8 minutes. We can do it. We've done more than this before. Okay, in this step, I want gummy bears. In this step, we will finish tensioning the belt. Please read the instructions first. Your belt might have proper tension already. Then there is no need for additional screw adjustment. First, slightly release all the screws holding the motor, otherwise the tensioner won't work. The motor must be able to move. I will hit the number button 41 times if it worked. You could hit it 41 times, it would be fine. So there, this is that screw we put in before that has the other screw butted up against it to keep from damaging the stepper. For optimal performance, the belt must be a bit harder to press with your fingers. Move the extruder all the way. For optimal performance, the belt must be a bit harder to press. Harder than what? So there's a translation thing, I'm sure. Move the extruder all the way to the X-end idler and try the belt tension in the middle of the X-axis. So X-end idler. That is touching there. Where is the eating? It's at the end of each section. So I think we're almost there. See, we see them. We get a peek, but not quite there yet. So I want to feel this. So if we're feeling this, that is nowhere close to tight. So let's get this apart, and then we reach behind here and tighten this screw. There we go. Tighten it enough to even get to where it's touching. That's too tight. I don't know if you can hear that. The bear tightening was awesome. The bear tightening, did it happen? Oh yeah, it was on this side, huh? Because it just pulled the pulley. Okay, there is let me bring up the little app. Where's my phone? Let me bring up the little app. 184, 16 more in 6 minutes. Yeah, that is a fun package. That is a fun package. I just got the delivery notification. Okay, let's go here. And I just click the QR code. And we are going to pick original Prusa. And then we're going to tap to enable microphone, allow. So now we've got I hope I don't get any embarrassing notifications. So move the extruder to the rightmost position, place the phone's microphone near the X-axis belt, and repeatedly strum the upper part of the belt with your finger. And we're looking for, this looks like about 82. Well, it'll show green. We're in the 102. So we're too tight. That's what I thought. 190, 10 more. Let's try that. That's not 100. Does it need to be down here? It sounds lower. Is it just not working right? This worked pretty well actually when we did my here, let me take the phone out of the case. Let me take the phone out of the case. Let me take the phone out of the case. And this should be here. So now that sounds a little tight. So now let me loosen this up and move it just for it's going the opposite, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it come down? It's reading the opposite. I believe those 60 numbers. just from the sound. 6 more people in 3 minutes, we can do it. I believe those. Believe those though. Something is going on. Let me refresh the app. I don't really believe it. We hit 200. Awesome. I did at that time. I did tighten them, but I'm not really. This. I mean, if anybody remembers, this worked pretty well when I built mine. I don't know what's different. Actually, nope. Hello. It's not working. I'm not going to sit there strumming on that all day. I'm going to say that feels pretty decent actually. 201. It's not working. It was a different phone. It was my previous phone that I used last time, but Pooch can tune those if he's not thrilled with that. It might be just a little tight. Maybe just a tiny bit. I did refresh the page, Scott. I did. Refresh the page, re-allowed the microphone. Turned it on and off again. That's good enough. Where are we at? It is 7 o'clock and we hit over 200 likes, which is amazing. Tuesday stream, 200 likes. Reboot the fingers. I want to eat gummy bears while I am doing the giveaway. So, I can. So we're there. So, the Polymaker filament giveaway. The link is in the pinned post and the description. If I got a backup microphone right there. Yeah. You have 3 seconds to get your entry in if you have not yet. So, 3. Sacrifice a goat. You're not using the Prusa belt pick, must be why. What are we supposed to use this? This thing? I don't think so, but that would be might be a little more consistent. So 3. Oh, I have to actually be watching, see if we get new entries. Do we have entries? Yeah, it's working. So 3, 2, oh, there's one. 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, half, quarter. Okay. Oh, it's back open. You got 3. Oh, there's 1. 3, 2, 1.5, 3, 2, 1. Done. You know, we'd have far less fun with real seconds. Oh, absolutely. Got to step away for wish me luck. Matt Lamb, you have now put yourself in danger of being in Polar Ted Club. Okay. Extruder. Okay, who got Mike G was the very first entry. Who got in on the very last entry? Very last was Daniel. Who else was in there in the end? I don't really recognize names. So for the most part, although Leo, you got in there pretty late, and Projects in Dad Garage. But for the most part, I don't recognize too many names in the very last ones, which means it's a good thing. So let's copy this, go over here, and paste it here. So you must be present. You must say something in chat if your name is drawn. We are going to, I'm going to be very uncreative today and do, and William, thanks for being a member. Here's to increasing my chances. We're going to do a number between 1 and 16 because it's already the 16th. We're already 6 days into 2024. You got in just in time, Daniel. Between 1 and 16. Oh, sorry, Wade. 1 and 16. We have, let's go 9. Let's go 9. Who? Okay. Shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And spin. I'm going to try something here. Who do we got? Who do we got? Bearded Bucket. Thanks for the gifted memberships. Who do we got? Biney. Good job, Biney. Are you here? Are you still here? You've got 2 minutes to say something. Congratulations, Biney. Are you here? And Daniel just got here and got a membership as well. Our chances better on Tuesdays. Well, yeah, there's fewer entries. Congratulations, Biney. I'm gonna do something real quick here. Okay. Biney, are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Did you say something? I haven't seen it yet. Pathetic Puma, thanks for the gifted memberships. You have 1 minute and 18 seconds to say something. Biney. Hotend Club member. Oh, they were here earlier. I saw them. I said hi. Thank you. Delivery. You have 49 seconds. Tick tock, tick tock. It was sandwich time. We have 30 seconds. $60 giveaways and I haven't hit one yet. Keep trying. Uh-oh. In 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Yep. 1, 0. Must have gone to bed. Okay. So we need a number between 16 and 24. 16 and 24. 16 and 24. Hey, Obi-Wan. The prize is Polymaker Filament. So if you're in the US or Canada, then it's a coupon to the Polymaker stores in those locations, whichever you're in. Or if you're outside the US and Canada, there's a list of filament. You get to choose a roll from it. And there's a pretty extensive list. There's a lot of stuff on there. So, I said 16 and 24. Let's go 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and spin. Who do we have? Who's the next Polar Tab Club member? Matt. Matt, I may need your special number, but Matt, are you in here? Matt, are you here? You have 2 minutes to say something. If I win, I'm going to print a 1 kilogram benchy. Old Balin, hi. Matt. It's just Matt. Are you here? How big would that benchy be? That's a good question. Depends on infill. If it's solid, it might not be all that big. Matt. Matt? Just Matt is taggable? Interesting. Matt. How many Matts do we have? Oh, hit the wrong button. Matt. Oh, we got 1 minute and 11 seconds. You know, this does end up being, I mean, it is a stream that more people have to bail out earlier. It happens. It happens. Oh boy. There's only 2 possibilities. For Matt, there are only 2 possibilities in the whole list of who it could be. Lamb is taggable, not plain Matt. Yeah, Matt Lamb is the other one. Matt. 3 a.m. here. It's 3 a.m. Collie. Maybe you'll get, maybe once this Polar Ted Club member gets inducted, maybe that'll be the next one. If he's the same number as me, I'll take it, but pretty confident it wasn't me. Oh, it's not the same number as you. Not many numbers are that big. Yep. I'm sorry, Matt. And we are going to get through this. So I'm going to shuffle this 5 times and we're going to go again. So we have 2 Polar Ted Club inductees. And 1 more. I want to keep these, like I said, I really need to try to keep these to about 2 hours. For your sake and mine. Aljon 2, are you here? Aljon 2, are you here? At least I don't miss out on a printer. This is true. Aljon 2. Are they taggable? Another non-taggable? Aljon 2. I'm going to start opening this box that I asked to be delivered. Where is my marker? Aljon 2. Someone will see you say. All you have to do is type. Oh, awesome. Aljon, I see ya. Good job. Congratulations. You are going to get an email from me. I am caught up. All emails have been sent out. All emails have been sent out, so we are. Oh, good. That's not on there. Good. Just marking out addresses. Congratulations. Let me get this. And I'm going to open a box that I just got because it's cool. You'll get an email from me sometime during the week. Maybe right before the next stream. What's the record for Polar Teds in a single stream? A lot. We got like 5, didn't we? Does it count as Polar Ted if the prize isn't a printer? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Polar Ted, it's up to them if they want to make some tiers of the club, because that would be probably appropriate. Maybe ranks. But I mean, not too many folks miss out on more than a full Trident kit. So really, Ref, I sent your email, so we will have to chat and make sure I have the correct email, because I did. Okay, awesome. Let's go here. I have a box. Josh Murat, are you still around? Do you happen to still be around? It is getting kind of somewhat late in your neck of the woods. You should make a Top Gear wall behind you of all the Polar Ted people, because if they weren't here, they don't know they were added. Does anybody? Oh, that's true. Well, yeah. Does anybody have a complete list of Polar Ted members? It wouldn't be too hard to get, because since I am consistent with the 3-hour mark, plus or minus or plus 3 seconds. Oh, awesome. So Josh is here. You'll like this one. So. Oop, make sure that doesn't, I don't know if that was showing anything. I wasn't expecting that. Polar Ted did win in the end, that's true. Here, now we can go, yeah, we can go here. Ooh. I got something from a little company called Inception Machines out of the UK. Inception Machines out of the UK. So I purchased this after seeing it at Smurf and looking in the US for something equivalent. I could not find anything that I liked in the US that had this particular set of requirements that I had. So I ordered this from the UK, from Inception Machines, and it is a nice little work vise. But it is a pretty neat little device. Yeah. So I ordered this with the first idea. I really want to be able to grab small objects well on my Shapeoko. And the mounting of this would cater reasonably well to that, since it is a solid base with some slots to mount to a table. And I can tram this in and mount something here and do some machining on small objects. So this is really nice. But yeah. So now it's going to come in very handy for both machines. So yeah, I ordered this before or right after they went on a holiday break. So they weren't shipping anything from the Christmas time-ish to after New Year's. And I don't remember the exact window there, but they got back from New Year's and a few days went by. And before I felt like I needed to chat with them, make sure they got my order, I had a tracking number. So it took about a week to get to me, a little over a week to get to me from the UK. But yeah. Yeah, it's a mini milling vise. And I got this, and I have a work stop that's made for it. Some bolts in there, but I think this bolts some, oh, bolts to here, bolts to the end there, and it's adjustable. This wasn't really expensive, so I decided to get it. And it's got little full adjustments all over the place. Did you have to pay customs on it? No, in general, us in the US are pretty lucky for that. The Prusa Mark IV, its price, a lot of it is based on the $800 limit. I think there's some, I don't know the details of it, but I think there's some limit at $800. After that, you have to pay some customs fees for some items. And I think that has a hand in the target price of a Prusa kit. So I have some fasteners, and then I got some just smooth jaws. I finished Everest except firmware. No time to walk into work. See ya, projects. You have to, yeah, no. Does your Shapeoko have a tool changer? No, but it has a bit setter, so I can manually change tools pretty well. It's kind of a neat automated process. How do you cut out something on a router table that is full depth? Do you just let the cutter cut? Yeah, you measure really well. You measure really well, and usually, often you're using maybe the double-sided, two-sided tape and super glue method to hold it, and you've got that extra little 0.1 millimeters of space, but measure well and just allow it to hit your spoil board if it needs to, because it's not that big of a deal to clean it up and replace it if it's done well. Depending on the courier, you may still end up paying customs on the Mark IV kit. DHL doesn't seem to charge it though. I see. I've ordered 3 Prusa MK kits, 2 Mark IIIs and a Mark IV, and I haven't had to pay anything on them, but they all came DHL too. So I have a Saunders Machine Works fixture with their fixture vices. The Saunders Machine Works, I think I'm going to end up buying as well. This is going to be good for if on the Shapeoko as well. But the Saunders Machine Work bolts directly to a work plate, so it should be a little lower profile than this, right, Bill? There's a smaller. I think there's 2 SMW low profile vices, and I think one of them's smaller than the other, too. So I might have to get one of those. That looks really nice. Yeah, unfortunately, just they're only available in the UK. It wasn't that much. I think it was less than 100 pounds, and then add the accessories I bought in shipping. I think I was still less out of. I think I was out of it right around $200 US, if I'm remembering right. Right around $200. But I'm really happy with that. That is pretty cool. I am pleased. There's the jaws here are serrated. They can be reversed, and then there's some soft jaws to be able to put on there. So, see you, Jack. That's kind of why it's called a spoil board, yeah. Gotta get a very good night. See you, Brent. We're done here. We're just kind of. I wanted to take a little, since it just arrived and I heard the truck come up. I was expecting it today. I thought it'd be a cool thing to show off on stream, and especially Josh is here. Josh is planning on building a Millennium Milo V1.5 when that's available, and I am going to be building one on stream here. So this is going to go directly with and perfect for the Millennium mill. So let's see what someone says about tools XYZ wasn't very much. It gets really subjective really fast. This is true. But considering the best, or at least the closest thing I could find in the US to this very thing that bolts down like this was the Carbide 3D one. And it was not nearly, it doesn't look nearly as nice as this. It's smaller, and it's still, I think, $100, 100 US. See you, Northern Customs. Wait to see the Milo. Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to having it as a tool, because I have a few uses for it that it will get used for. You can use a vise or fixture that holds the stock off the surface, do a 2-sided cut, or add a sacrifice material. And yeah, that's true. I've thought about, and I need to make a secondary spoil board for that, for when I'm doing like panels and stuff. And I think that would be good, because it'll save the spoil board a little bit. I haven't actually surfaced the Shapeoko yet. Everything I've done on it it's really close. It's really close. So all I've done on it are panels and stuff. So I haven't needed to surface it, but I'm going to be at that point very soon. Okay, well, with that, we're just about at the 2.5 hour mark, which is where I want to be. We got the full neck extruder. Neck extruder is a pretty in-depth assembly for this printer. that is done. It needs a sticker on there, but I'm gonna wait until it works. Next, we'll be doing the Y-axis and wiring. I think actually next is they have you put the display on before the Y-axis, because I think you need to get to the screws back here. But, oh, hey Max, welcome. You cut your own panels. Where do you get the stock from? Tap Plastics. So we're lucky enough, I have a Tap Plastics local. I think Max has a Tap Plastics within a very reasonable drive. It's just easy to just go and get supplies from them. So, yep. With that, thank you everyone. Thanks for the new members, gifted memberships, and thanks to Polymaker for letting me give away another roll of filament. We will be back on Sunday, and it will be a switch wire Appendix B or Appendix A stream. We're going to install the LEDs. We're going to play around a little more with tuning, and we're going to try to up some speed, see if we can play with that kind of stuff. If I can get some time, it's supposed to rain all week, so I may have more time than I was expecting. We may try to add to that, but it'll be pretty much a print and chill stream on Sunday. So with that, good night. Hope everyone has a good rest of the work week, and we'll see you hopefully on Sunday.